All right, I'll text you, Ben. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bulldog Report. I'm Eddie Kalegi. We're excited to be here as the Metuchen High School softball team hosts Middlesex in a GMC Blue Division rivalry contest. Should be a great game to watch this afternoon as Metuchen looks to rebound from a tough loss that they suffered at the hands of South Plainfield yesterday. South Plainfield is a true powerhouse, and it was a battle in that game. Let's take you through a couple of the highlights from that game. You start in the top of the 7th inning. Metuchen is down 6-5. And Leslie Flaherty sends a no-doubt home run to center field over the Plainfield Tiger wall to make it a 6-5 Metuchen lead heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. But things would change before the game was over because Abby Kozo on the mound has pitched so well this season, ran into some trouble in the 7th inning, and it came down to a really tough play right here as Mia Zapp was in there at shortstop. And you see a ground ball. She lunges out, makes a diving play, but the throw to first is offline. The Tigers win 7-6 as 2 runs score on the play with 2 outs. It was a tough loss, but the Bulldogs, like I said before, this is a good learning experience for them to lose for the first time. They've played some tough games. Of course, last game 13-12. Before that, a victory over Bridgewater Raritan. They're starting to have to become acquainted with difficulty. But today should be not as tough of a test as these previous 2 games, but you always want to be careful when you're facing off with Middlesex. So softball here, Bulldogs and Blue Jays. Baseball teams, 2 really strong teams facing up in Middlesex today. And we'll have coverage tomorrow when the baseball team hosts Middlesex. Things were kind of switched around because initially the baseball team was supposed to be home today against Middlesex, but due to the wetness in the field from a lot of rain over the last couple days, they thought it would be best to move the game to tomorrow. But anyway, let's send it out to the field as we get ready to go here between Metuchen and Middlesex. And on the mound, it will be Abby Kozo, who has pitched really well this season. Taking a look at some statistics, she's got a 1.71 ERA, 50 strikeouts, and 32 2/3 innings, the primary pitcher on this Bulldog team. Metuchen will be in their blue tops, black pants, Middlesex in their gray road uniforms. The Blue Jays coming in at 4-7, went 12-8 in 2019. Did not lose a ton of players from their roster, not nearly as much turnover as the Bulldogs had, but still some pretty significant changes for them. As Kozo finishes off her warm-up pitches, and we get set for some action. And leading it off will be the star of this Middlesex team. That is Jessica Forte. Forte, last game for Middlesex, they lost 6-2, but she had 3 hits, including her 100th career hit as a senior. She's hitting .610 this year. 10 RBI, 20 runs scored, 10 stolen bases. Leader in runs and steals on this team, and as the leadoff hitter gets on base a lot. A tough matchup for Kozo, and the first pitch of the game is going to miss for a ball. So we're underway here. Abby Kozo on the mound as the Bulldogs look to improve to 10-1 on the season. And this first one is driven out to left center field. And it looks like it'll be caught out there for the first out of the inning. So a fly out to right. And that'll start things off here for the Bulldogs on the right foot. So Forte, who's been a tough out all season, will be retired right there. And the number 2 hitter in the Middlesex order is due up, and she takes low for a ball. So for Kozo, this is a good one to rebuild some confidence for this young pitcher, as this is a ground ball right back to her, and a throw to first. Flaherty steps on the bag, and 2 quick outs on just 4 pitches here for Kozo in the first. So 2 outs, and that pitch is taken upstairs for a ball. Kozo working quickly. Here's the 1-0, and that one misses upstairs as well. So 2 balls, no strikes here. This one fouled hard back up at the screen. De La Fuente grabs it and throws it back to Kozo. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch. And now the count is even, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the first inning. The windup, the set, the pitch. Popped foul once again. And Metuchen will have to work for the strikeout once again right here. First of 3 broadcasts next 4 days here on the Bulldog Report. Boys baseball tomorrow, then Friday the girls will be back at it against JFK, as this one is flown out to left center field and deep. And that's going to fall in for a base hit. Rounding second, heading to third, and sliding in safely with the triple. So some heads-up base running there from Kaylin Neptune as she ends up with the triple and will be at third here with 2 outs. Great piece of hitting there for Neptune, who's leading the team with a .636 average and 21 RBI. Also has 3 home runs, almost got her 4th right there, but just not far enough. But Neptune is now on. And that pitch is in there 0-2. So Neptune at third, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So a good battle back after the triple, and Kozo strikes out the cleanup hitter on 3 pitches. So 1 strikeout, 1 left in scoring position for the Blue Jays. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Bulldogs coming up to bat. No score here between Metuchen and Middlesex, right here on the Bulldog Report. So here we go, getting ready. Bottom of the first inning, it appears Ashley Van Winkle will be on the mound for Middlesex. As the Bulldogs facing off with the Middlesex Blue Jays here. Bottom of the first inning coming up. Metuchen has been led primarily by their offense this season. Let's take a look at some of those key hitters for the Dogs this year. And looking at it, Abby Kozo at .750, still a ridiculously high batting average. Same for Brianna De La Fuente at .645, 6 homers, 33 RBI. Leslie Flaherty, who had that big home run yesterday, .621 for the year. They have 4 players in the lineup batting at least .600. One of those will bat here. That is Mia Zapp, the leadoff hitter, hitting .600 with 3 homers and 16 RBI as a sophomore. One of the many, many players on this team who is making her first appearance this year because, you know, no season last season, so many players brand new to the roster. That pitch is going to miss upstairs for a ball. That pitch way upstairs to Zapp, 2-1. Blue Jays have 2 primary pitchers. Those are Ashley Van Winkle and Emily Bastardo. Not sure who that is
on the mound for them. A little hard to see the numbers from our vantage point here, but we'll try my best. But of course, I've got the full Metuchen roster. 2-1. Another one that's way upstairs. So after a first pitch strike, 3 consecutive balls, and the count is now 3-1 to the Bulldog leadoff hitter. Other softball game we streamed earlier this season that only went 1 inning. Zap started the rally with a homer. But this one's a pop-up first base side. Catch will be made, and that's out number 1. So we'll pop out for Zap. And the last time, like I said, we streamed a game, the first 19 Metuchen hitters reached base. That won't happen today. Noel Leaf here, the number 2 hitter in the order, will bat. Leaf with numbers very comparable to the 2019 season, one of 2 returning players. She hit .365 that year with 2 homers, 16 RBI. Right now hitting at .345 with 6 RBI. The pitch to Leaf. This one driven out to second base, but a catch is made on the line and quickly 2 away. So this Middlesex defense and pitching staff doing a good job through the first 2 hitters so far. But this one is clubbed into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Wide turn at first. But it's a 2-out single there for Abby Kozo. And they'll take Kozo out for a pinch runner, just like we've seen with Matt Rowe a lot when he's been pitching for the baseball team. So 2 outs, runner on, and Brianna De La Fuente will come up hoping to cash in and give the Bulldogs the early lead. De La Fuente leads the team with 6 homers and 23 RBI. A lot of talk about Kozo, of course, with her performance on the mound, but De La Fuente, another sophomore who has been extraordinary for this team. And the first pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. There's the 0-1 pitch to De La Fuente. Down at her feet. She gets out of the way. Not hit. Ball 1. One on the way. That one's upstairs for a ball. Now 2-1. Kozo at first, 2 outs, bottom of the first, no score. And another pitch upstairs, and once again, after getting ahead in the count, Middlesex now falls behind. It's 3-1. 3-1. That one is going to miss low, ball 4, and now there's 2 runners on base and 1 in scoring position. And that first pitch goes to the backstop. Breaking for third. Throw there is in time. What a throw. And Swikowski is gunned down trying to get to third. And Middlesex is out of the inning. So the Bulldogs will strand 1 here in the first. After the single and the De La Fuente walk, and off the wild pitch, a great throw from the catcher to get Swikowski trying to swipe third. So after 1, no score here between Metuchen and Middlesex. This is Eddie Kalegi live on the Bulldog Report. So for those of you just tuning in, Eddie Kalegi here. It's been a pretty interesting game so far. Both teams have gotten 2 out base runners in the opening inning and couldn't capitalize. A triple from Kaylin Neptune in the top of the first for Middlesex, but she was stranded on a big strikeout of the cleanup hitter by Kozo. And then Metuchen got a single to right field by Abby Kozo. De La Fuente worked a walk, but then the pinch runner for Kozo, Julia Swikowski, was thrown out trying to get to third on a wild pitch, and that's how Middlesex escaped the first inning. A little bit of cloud cover set in, about 63 degrees at the start of today's game. Like we said, this is also a back-to-back, and this is also a back-to-back when it comes to pitching for Kozo. She just pitched yesterday against South Plainfield and now gets back at it for this one. For Middlesex, I believe this is Bastardo on the mound, and I think she's batting here. And the first pitch from Kozo is in there for a strike. Bastardo hitting at 148 with 3 RBI and takes that one upstairs for a ball, 1-1. There's the 1-1 offering. High called strike, and the count is now at 1-2. One-two, swing and a miss, got her second strikeout for Kozo. I believe that's actually Ashley Van Winkle, who was the pitcher and struck out there. So 1 away here in the second. And the first pitch from Kozo in there for a strike. Like we said, the strikeout numbers have been really big for her. 50 strikeouts this season through 32 2/3 innings pitched coming into this. And that one fouled off, and Kozo's quickly ahead 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the second. And that one's just going to miss a little low and away for a ball. And that one's going to miss. Good take right there. And the count is now even at 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got her. Third straight strikeout for Kozo. And there's quickly 2 away here in the second. Another Middlesex player playing with a hoodie, so I don't know what number that is, but 7 in the order nonetheless, and Kozo is looking for her 4th consecutive strikeout. And that one's in there for a strike, so after a couple of hard-hit balls to start this game, Kozo has officially settled in. And that one is a cut on and miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Outside, count is even 2-2. Abby Kozo looking to strike out the side in the second. That one just got a piece of it fouled off. Here's the 2-2. Cut on and miss, strike 3. Abby Kozo strikes out the side in the top of the second. We'll head to the bottom half of the inning. Still scoreless here between Middlesex and Metuchen. This is Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment. So here we go, bottom of the second inning. Bulldogs got 2 runners on in the first, but couldn't do anything else with it. And the first pitch there is way high for a ball. So Middlesex have won 4 games this season, all of them by 15 plus runs, and in all 4 of their wins they've scored at least 19. In all of their losses, they haven't scored more than 7. But this was an improvement. Last time these teams met, Metuchen scored 6 runs in the first inning, as that ball completely slipped out of her hand. And that pitch will be taken for a leadoff walk here, and Metuchen in business with a runner on to start the second. So runner on first, nobody out, and that pitch gets away. This time they can't find it. And a heads-up play as the runner gets to second. So Van Winkle having trouble locating right now, and that pitch is a shot on the infield. Throw to first will be in time. But Leslie Flaherty advances to third. So Kylie Flaherty moves over Leslie Flaherty on the ground out, and now Annika Frick will bat with a chance to drive in a run, and that first pitch misses high for a ball. Frick on the year, batting .520, 18 RBI, and that pitch gets away. They're going to try to score with it, and sliding in safely is Leslie Flaherty, and Metuchen takes a 1-0 lead. A passed ball, dangerous move by Flaherty, with Metuchen already having a runner thrown out on the base paths in this game, but it pays off, and the Dogs take a 1-0 lead. Van Winkle's pitch could not be corralled, and she is having major issues finding the strike zone right now. She only pitched 1 inning, got bounced early in yesterday's game against Bridgewater Raritan as Frick gets hit with that pitch, and she'll go to first. Only 1 hit so far for this Metuchen offense, which is a little unconventional. Like we said, they scored 10 runs when these teams matched up earlier this season, and now Mary McGrath will bat. And that first pitch misses. McGrath, a freshman. She and Leslie Flaherty, both freshmen, and now she gets hit with a pitch right on the foot. So back-to-back hit by pitches, and the Bulldogs continue to be in business. And a start that was looking solid for Van Winkle is starting to slip away. And a meeting at the mound is ensuing. So 5 base runners are ready for Metuchen. Only 1 has been via a hit. Abby Kozo had a single in the first. Since then, it's been 3 walks and 2 walks and 2 hit by pitches to account for the rest of the Metuchen action on the base paths. And it seems like Van Winkle, who had some decent control at first, has seen it slip away. And she is a pitcher as well who walked 9 batters against Bridgewater Raritan in their last game in the first inning, and ended up allowing 6 runs in that inning. And then Emily Bastardo entered in relief and only walked 2, allowed 3 hits, and didn't allow any runs over 6 innings. And Carly Pachalski, number 9 in the order, takes the first pitch for a strike. Metuchen really with their full arsenal in there today, and they've got 2 runners on. Frick is at second, McGrath at first here with Pachalski, who's batting .462 so far this season with 10 RBI. And that one's going to roll to the plate. Seems like Von Winkle's mechanics are off a little bit. It's like she's kind of sort of pausing midway through her motion and just trying to keep better grip of the ball, but it's causing the pitches sometimes to not even reach the plate. And after a pretty smooth sailing first inning, she's run into a lot of trouble here in the second. Already a run home in the inning that scored on a wild pitch and a couple hit by pitch, and first and second here with 1 out. And that one's going to bounce behind Pachalski, and she almost gets hit with a throwback to first, and the ball's going to get away. That's a live ball, and it's going to go down the line, and now second and third. On the throwback in from the catcher, it goes off of Pachalski. I think it might have hit her bat, and then that just became a live ball, obviously, and the throwback into the pitcher's mound. And now Metuchen is 2 in scoring position, and that is a costly mistake for Middlesex. And now this one is grounded to third. Neptun's going to try to throw home with it, but sliding in safely is Frick, and it's 2-0. An infield single. Frick now scores, and it's 2-0 Bulldogs with the top of the order coming up here against Von Winkle. Neptun made the smart play, had a chance, but a lot of speed there shown from the senior Annika Frick. And now Mia Zapp, who popped out in the first, will step up here to face once again with runners at first and third, 1 out, 2 runs home in the inning, and the first pitch is fouled back. Now, when these teams met on April 23rd, it was a drubbing by the Bulldogs, who led 10-0 after 2 innings. And Abby Cozo and Brianna De La Fuente combined to go 8 for 8 from the plate with 3 home runs in the game. And that's another one that gets away. Too close for McGrath to move, but Pachalski goes to second, and that's ball 4 as Zapp with the bases loaded. And now a real opportunity for more damage. 2 hits, 3 walks, 2 hit by pitch, and now the part of the order starts with Noelle Leaf, and she watches that one drop in the lower inner part of the zone for a strike. McGrath at third, Pachalski at second, Zapp at first, with Cozo and De La Fuente eagerly waiting on deck. Leaf lined out to shortstop her first time. There's the pitch. This one is a pop-up right in front of Leaf's path. Catch is made, and that is a big second out, as Noelle Leaf is retired. But now Abby Cozo will come up with a chance to do some serious damage with the bases loaded and 2 outs. So Van Winkle having some trouble here locating her pitches, and Cozo smashes the first one. A line drive caught at second, and Middlesex escapes the inning with just 2 runs allowed. Cozo batting .750 so far this season, absolutely struck that ball, but an excellent snag there at second base, all nearly snow coning it, and that will retire the side. But Metuchen plates a pair. Stay with us. 3rd inning coming up. Metuchen 2, Middlesex nothing. This is the Bulldog Report. So top of the 3rd, just a quick look at what's to come. The boys currently playing at Middlesex. They'll be here tomorrow as the Blue Jays and Bulldogs will duel on the baseball diamond at 4 o'clock. And then the softball team Friday will be home against Island Kennedy. You can see both of those games right here on the Bulldog Report. So Abby Cozo, who cruised through the 2nd inning, striking out the side, looks to do so again. Once again, apologies on not having all the Middlesex numbers. I do have them listed, but it's slightly difficult to do this only because some of the players are wearing hoodies, and of course our camera angle isn't the best, and with the gray uniforms it's a little difficult to see who's batting. But I've got a couple of the key ones, of course. The one hit for them so far, I do know, was a triple from Kaylin Neptune, but she was stranded at third. Koza was struck out the last 4 batters dating back to the first inning, and that pitch is going to be upstairs for a ball. Koza in some ways has to be frustrated, having the bases loaded and 2 outs, an opportunity that she could have really broken this game open. But she just has to focus back here on the mound and make something of this and continue to keep this a 2-run game. 1-1 pitch is going to miss low for a ball. 2 balls and a strike now to Koza. Here's the 2-1 on the way. This one, a bouncer to first. Flaherty grabs it, steps on the bag, and that's the first out. So an easy 3 unassisted ground out there for the first out of this 3rd inning. This will send up the 9-hole hitter. That first pitch in there for a strike. This is Anna Hamas, batting .250 with 7 RBI, and that one is shot foul. 0-2 now. Jess Forte, Middlesex's top hitter, stands on deck. There's the pitch. And that one's going to miss just low for a ball. 1-2 now. Here's the 1-2 from Kozo. Swing and a miss, got her. Strikeout number 5. First time through the order for Abby Kozo, and there's 2 away. So up to 55 strikeouts now this season through 35 1/3 innings. And Kozo continues her strong season. And it's a good bounce back after allowing those 7 runs against South Plainfield yesterday. So here's Forte, who got a piece of one and drove it to right, but flew out in the first. Like we said, got her 100th career hit in her first at bat against Bridgewater Raritan yesterday. And that pitch misses high. Also in that game, Peyton Chi had 2 hits. They kept it close with Bridgewater, holding them to 6 runs. This is a Bridgewater Raritan team that put up 12 against Metuchen in a 13-12 offensive shootout on May 7th. Here's the pitch from Kozo. That one's going to be low, ball 4. And Forte, Kozo pitching carefully, as she'll draw the 2-out walk. Second base runner of the game here for the Blue Jays. So that'll bring up Mackenzie Marsh, who grounded out back to Kozo in the opening inning. And she looks to bunt. A pitch out, throw back to first, and Forte is just barely back safely. Heads up throw there by De La Fuente, as she nearly was able to nab Forte at first. Of course, when she's on the base paths, like we said, you got to watch out because she has a ton of speed. As a sophomore in 2019, she stole 26 bases, already 10 steals this season. She's running on the pitch here, swing and a miss, throw to second, bounces, and Forte corrals the bag, dives in safely with her 11th stolen base of the season. So Middlesex, who left a 2-out base runner on in the first, are looking to manufacture a run right here. And this one's driven out to right field. It looks like that one's going to possibly fall in for a base hit. It does. Forte's going to score. Heading to second. Sliding in. Marsh is out, but Middlesex gets on the board. It's a single thrown out trying to stretch it to second for Mackenzie Marsh, but she gets the job done and cuts the deficit in half. We'll head to the bottom of the third, Metuchen leading it 2-1. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. So Von Winkle ready to work the bottom third. Metuchen sent 8 runners to the plate, but were only able to scratch across 2 in the last inning. 1 on a wild pitch for a run scored, and then an RBI single from Carly Pachalski. And, of course, Middlesex just got a run right back. And once again, a quick look at the Metuchen offense. Brianna De La Fuente will be stepping up to the plate, and she has had a massive year. 6 homers, 33 RBI through just those first 10 games. Coach Hannah Thomas has to be singing the praises of her and Abby Kozo, both sophomores who had not played high school, any sort of high school level softball prior to this. Now, a lot of the underclassmen on this softball team have played a lot of travel ball in the past, especially through middle school with some pretty prestigious teams across the Garden State and traveling to other states, including Kozo and De La Fuente, but of course had not played in high school competition. And the fact that they've been inserted in, have been so effective, and will still be here for 2 more years after this has to make Coach Thomas ecstatic. So quickly, Von Winkle, definitely not trying to test De La Fuente, but also has just kept throwing pitches right now off the plate. That's 3 in a row that have completely missed. Swinging 3-0, maybe not the best decision. This fly ball caught in foul territory. What a catch by the second baseman. The Middlesex defense has been great so far in this game, and that's the first out. Like, being completely honest here, Van Winkle has really struggled with her command, but that is about the 4th tough defensive play we've seen. The line out from Leaf in the first, then the pop out for Leaf in the second. Of course, that liner by Kozo with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And then once again, a nice play there. As this one skips into Leslie Flaherty. And as we already highlighted, she had a big-time performance in yesterday's game with a big go-ahead home run in the 7th inning to give Metuchen a 6-5 lead before they ultimately fell 7-6. There's the pitch, and that one skips away for a ball. One out, nobody on here, bottom of the 3rd. And that's ball 4. And Flaherty will head to first with her 2nd walk of the day. So now this will bring up Kylie Flaherty, who has been a red-hot hitter as of late as well. And that first pitch misses. And that one skips as well. Now, it was a huge performance for her in their last game. We'll get that highlight rolling as soon as we can, where she had multiple home runs 2 games ago. As that pitch gets away, throw to second. Flaherty is out. Leslie Flaherty trying to take second, and for the second time, a runner gets thrown out. Flaherty, of course, stretched it and got home on the wild pitch in the 2nd inning, but this time gets gunned down out there at second. So second Lady Bulldog caught stealing in this one, and now Kylie Flaherty batting with nobody on, and she'll take a walk. Let's see if we can get this clip rolling. And we can't just yet, but I wanted to show off a couple of those big home runs that we had courtesy of Twitter that she had hit the other day. Regardless, this will bring up Annika Frick, who was hit with a pitch in the 2nd, and she's going to drive one deep down the left field side. And that one is going to be caught to end the inning. I don't know why Kylie Flaherty held up. She probably should have just been running with 2 outs. But regardless, catch is made, inning over. So Metuchen draws 2 walks, can't get anybody else home. We'll head to the 4th inning with the Bulldogs leading it 2-1. So now we've got it. This is from Kylie Flaherty against Bridgewater Raritan back on May 7th. She went deep once, the bench was fired up, and if that was not enough, later in the inning she steps back up and does it again. Both Flaherty sisters have been really key on this Metuchen team so far this season, with Leslie batting .621 with 3 homers and 16 ribbies. While Kylie Flaherty has those 2 home runs, her first 2 of the season, but is batting .500 with 10 RBI. So Kozo back to work here in the top of the 4th, and the first pitch is in there for a strike to Kaylin Neppen, who was tripled back in the 1st inning and was stranded there at 3rd. That pitch is upstairs on the hands. So Metuchen's gotten 2 runs. It was a runner scoring Leslie Flaherty on a wild pitch, and then an RBI single from Carly Pachalski. A run back for Middlesex as Mackenzie Marsh drove in Jess Forte in the 3rd inning, but was thrown out trying to stretch a single to a double on a nice tag by Mia Zapp over at 2nd. Here's the pitch from Kozo. This one is popped up. First base side, tough play, on the run, catch is going to be made by Pachalski for the first out. Some nice defense on display from both these teams so far. Here's the pitch from Kozo. That one's going to be in there for a strike to Jacqueline DeSantis, the cleanup hitter. She struck out in the 1st inning. Jacqueline DeShields, 346, 8 RBI for DeShields. And that one's cut on and missed, strike 3. She'll go down swinging for the 2nd time today. 6 strikeouts now for Kozo here with 2 outs in the 4th inning. So Kozo so far has allowed 2 hits, a walk, a run, and struck out 6. Solid game so far for her. Frick was on the mound when this team faced off with Middlesex earlier in the year. Pitched well until the end, and Middlesex got 5 runs. Almost got out of a mercy rule situation in the 5th, but still were down 10 and lost 15-5 back on April the 23rd. That was just Metuchen's 2nd game of the season. This is Van Winkle, the pitcher. Struck out in the 2nd. And that one's in there for a strike. DeShields and Van Winkle were part of a series of 4 consecutive Blue Jay batters to go down on strikes. And this one is driven out to 2nd base. Pachalski makes the catch on the pop-out. And a lifeless inning from the Middlesex offense as Kozo gets 2 pop-outs to 2nd and a strikeout. And we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Metuchen still on top 2-1, looking to extend the lead. This is Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. We'll be back for bottom 4. So here we go, bottom of the fourth inning. Von Winkle has actually, for the most part, settled down after that mess of a second inning. She did walk 2 in the third, but got through it, and Metuchen has kind of thrown things away a little bit on the base paths today. They've had base runners, but twice have had them thrown out, and while it is good to be heads up and always watching to see for any mistakes and try to take that extra base, they've failed twice, so maybe they might focus on having a little more discipline and just letting the wheel spin and trying to get runs that way. But it'll be Mary McGrath, who got hit by a pitch and was stranded at third in the second inning, who will lead off. Now, Metuchen had the bases loaded and 1 out in the second, had already scored 2 runs, and had second and third in the order coming up. And Leaf and Kozo both hit the ball hard, and both ended up being retired. As McGrath ropes one into left field, looks like that'll get down for a base hit for Mary McGrath. She'll stop at first with the leadoff single for Metuchen here at the bottom of the fourth. It's a nice contact for McGrath, a freshman. That'll get her average right up near 400. And now Carly Pachalski, who singled in a run earlier, will look to extend things. Here's Van Winkle's pitch. Half swing down the third base line and foul. Ashley Von Winkle in 15 innings pitched coming in this season has a 12.60 ERA. And that one's going to miss low and inside for a ball. Here's the pitch. That one skips inside as well. It seems like maybe some of these pitches, she's just seeming like she's trying to throw it hard, throw a fastball. It's been mainly under control, but when she tries to slow it down at all, it just falls right down and it misses low, and some of these misses have been egregious. We've seen a lot of wild pitches, at least 5 so far, off the backstop or barely reaching home plate. But that was a nice one to get into the zone. This one not so good. 5 holds the catcher, and it goes right through, but staying at first is McGrath. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be upstairs. Great take there on the full count pitch from Carly Pachalski. And for the second time in a row, it's the bottom of the order getting things going. 7, 8, and 9 hitters combined in this game so far for Metuchen have reached base 5 times in 6 plate appearances with 3 walks, 2 walks, a hit by pitch, and a single, and have been pretty impressive so far. Now let's see what Mia Zepp can do. She drew a walk in the second, popped out in the first. Third time through the order. Let's see if the Bulldogs can get something rolling as that first pitch misses inside for a ball. And that one is going to miss as well. Leaf is on deck. She's 0 for 2 today. Then it's to the heart of the order with Kozo and De La Fuente, who have been surprisingly quiet so far. 1 for 3 with a single on a walk. And that one's high for a ball. So a 4-pitch walk to Zapp, and the bases are loaded. Sixth walk here for Metuchen. And another conversation at the mound. Now this team really only uses 2 pitchers, and it's Van Winkle and Bastardo, and Van Winkle had just 1 inning pitched yesterday. Bastardo threw 6, so you wonder how long or how short the leash is here if things get into trouble. But this is the exact same scenario Metuchen had in the second. They had McGrath, Pachalski, and Zapp on with the bases loaded. But this time it's nobody out instead of 1 out with Noelle Leaf there. And the first pitch gets away, but maybe as fortunate as possible the way it ricocheted. And McGrath wisely doesn't test it, and she stays at third. And when you're missing that badly to Leaf, one of the shorter hitters who has one of the lower strike zones, that's going to be not a good sign. And that one, again, up at the head level for a ball, 2-0. Suddenly dating back to the Pachalski at bat, this is 9 consecutive balls thrown here by Von Winkle. And that's going to miss high as well. Base is loaded, and that pitch is high ball 4-0, force in a run. McGrath scores, everybody else moves up a base. It's another walk, and Metuchen leads it 3-1. So Noel Leaf does a good job right there. And it looks like a pitching change here for Middlesex. So Von Winkle is out, and Emily Bastardo will take the mound. Bastardo, in 23 innings, she's a senior in 2019. In 23 innings, she pitched to a 5.78 ERA. This year, in 37 innings, at a 6.81 ERA, which is the team best. Once again, as I said, they've only used 2 pitchers, Von Winkle and Bastardo. And when the walks really harmed Von Winkle in the previous start, Bastardo got that game under control against a tough Bridgewater Raritan offense, which, like we said, scored 12 runs against Metuchen on Friday. And yesterday, held them scoreless for 6 innings, held them to just 5 base runners over 6 innings. But now, a tough test with the bases loaded, still nobody out, already a run home in the inning, and Abby Kozo at the plate. Kozo singled, and then her pinch runner, Swikowski, was thrown out trying to steal third in the first inning. And this, a throwback to third, they got McGrath. Excuse me, that was Pachalski. McGrath had already scored, but Pachalski's thrown about at third. They caught her napping there a little too far off the bag, and a great throw by the catcher, great tag by Neptune. So she's out. And this one is a grounder, booted at second, throw to first, they won't get it out there. They'll say that Kozo's safe. She's fired up. Run scores. Bulldogs lead 4-1. Actually, Pachalski was the runner at third who had been thrown out, so it's 3-1. There was nobody at third there, but Kozo is safe at first nonetheless, and now the bases remain loaded with 1 out for De La Fuente. Apologies for that. Our picture went out on our end there for a second while that play was going on. Kind of got a little confused there. I saw motion at home plate, but it turned out that was De La Fuente. Regardless, this one is popped up, and a catch is made at second, and there's 2 away. So De La Fuente, who, like we said, had a massive game against Middlesex on April 23rd, hasn't done much today. 0 for 2 with a walk and 2 pop-outs. And this one, a ground ball by Flaherty. Can they get out of this? Stepping on third. Force play is done for Neptune. And the Bulldogs, again, they load the bases with nobody out, only score 1 run. Another runner thrown out on the base paths, the 3rd of the day. And Bastardo, for the most part, gets the job done there with some help from her defense once again. So Metuchen just scratches across 1 more. They do extend the lead, though. It's 3-1 here as we head to the 5th inning here on the Bulldog Report. Continuing here on the Bulldog Report, this is Eddie Kalegi. Metuchen scratches across another run, but another inning that could have been much bigger than it was. Sent 6 runners to the plate, had the bases loaded and nobody out. Got 1 run home on a walk from Leaf, but then Pachalski was thrown out at third base. She was a little too far off the bag, and then a single by Kozo loaded the bases once again. But for the second time, Metuchen had the bases loaded and 1 out and couldn't do anything after that. Kozo so far has only allowed 3 base runners, 2 hits and a run, and it's been enough to keep this Metuchen lead. Bulldogs looking to bounce back after that tough late game loss against South Plainfield and not get completely sidetracked by that. Almost good for them in a way that they have a game so soon after to kind of regroup after such a tough defeat. Friday they host JFK as that pitch is upstairs for a ball. I believe this is Peyton Chi at the plate. Hitting .417 with 5 RBI coming into this game. 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far today. Here's the pitch from Kozo. Swing and a miss, down she goes. 7th strikeout for Abby Kozo. And that is out number 1. All 7 strikeouts are strikeouts swinging. 57 strikeouts now on the season for Kozo. That's the first out here in the top of the 5th inning. So bring up number 7 in the order. And that first pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1. So as we've said, Coach Thomas has to be thrilled with the performance she's seen from some of these younger players. A fact that this team went 10-11, they were below 500 2 years ago, and lose everybody due to graduation except for 2 players, and to come back and be as much of a powerhouse as they've been is incredible. But we know a lot of that is due to their very easy schedule through the first half. They have some tough contests ahead, especially a big game next week against St. Thomas. This one is shot over to second base, throw to first. Nice play there by Carly Pachalski, and that's the second out. So 2 away, that'll bring up the 8th spot in the order. That's Abby Eater, hitting .250 this season with an RBI. And the first pitch from Kozo is cut on and missed for a strike, 0-1. Oh, 1 on the way. Half-hearted swing, and Abby Kozo quickly ahead 0-2. 2 outs, top of the 5th. Metuchen on top 3-1. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got her on 3 pitches. 8th strikeout for Kozo. She continues to deal out there, and she's through 5 innings. We'll head to the bottom half of the inning. Metuchen looking to finally have that big inning they've been waiting for. Scored 15 to this point in their matchup on April 23rd. Just 3 right now, but it's enough. They lead it 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. So bottom of the 5th, just a reminder, we have a lot of action ahead. Tomorrow it'll be the boys baseball team facing off with Middlesex. Should be a good one. Middlesex, of course, at last check, they were having a really good season. They had not lost a GMC Blue Division game yet either. despite not playing as many games as Metuchen or Spotswood. Of course, the boys picked up that huge win on Friday against the Spotswood Chargers. And then on Friday, the girls will be hosting JFK. Both those games can be seen live right here on the Bulldog Report. It'll be 6, 7, 8. Flaherty, Frick, and McGrath due up here. And that pitch is cut on and fouled off. Metuchen's offense a little slumping a bit today. They only have 4 hits. 2 of them from Abby Kozo. 1 from Pachalski, 1 from McGrath. They've drawn 7 walks and have been hit with 2 pitches. You can see that bench really fired up, trying to get Bastardo to miss. It's a pretty accurate pitcher. Like we said, only walked 2 over 6 innings in relief yesterday. And a swing and a miss and a strikeout right there for Kylie Flaherty. So this is very different. This is only the second home game we've been able to stream here on the Bulldog Report for softball. And if you remember, that South River game didn't even last a full inning. Metuchen put on a barrage of 18 first-inning runs, and South River forfeited with a lack of players after one got injured before the mercy rule even had the chance to be applied. But Frick is quickly behind here against Bastardo. Frick cranks one out to left field, staying fair, and looks like it's going to be a foul ball. Yes, it is. A foul ball, and she'll step in now with 2 strikes. A little bit of dark cloud starting to come in a little bit here. And that pitch is going to miss upstairs for a ball. One, 2. I went upstairs as well. So Frick with a couple of good takes. Bastardo misses badly twice in a row. Mary McGrath's on deck. Here's the pitch. Frick cuts hard but fouls it off. Frick, soft contact, fouls it lightly down the first base line. And this battle continues here between Emily Bastardo and Annika Frick. Touching 3, Middlesex 1, and Frick takes that one high and away, ball 4. Second time she's been on base today, was hit with a pitch back in the second and later scored. And once again, it's the bottom of the Metuchen order making stuff happen, while the top of the order and middle of the order have been pretty quiet so far. Big hack from McGrath. She swings and misses there. She grounded a single to left her last time up. Also was hit with a pitch in the second. It'll be Hamas, Forte, and Marsh. 9-1-2 in the order. Next time up for Middlesex. Nearly a collision there as Frick kind of ran into the first baseman. Catch is made nonetheless for the second out. And Frick is forced to stay at first. And now Pachalski will bat. RBI single in the second. Walked last inning and then was thrown out on the base paths. And this one's driven out to shortstop, but an easy catch. The Middlesex defense has been excellent today, and Bastardo has now worked 2 solid innings to work around trouble after not the best of starts for Von Winkle. We'll head to the 6th inning. Metuchen remains on top 3-1. Eddie Kalegi right here on the Bulldog Report. Top of the 6th inning, Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. Been an exciting game so far. A lot closer than what happened last time. Of course, Middlesex got destroyed by Metuchen's offense when these teams met at the Blue Jays home park on April 23rd. Metuchen scored 10 runs in the first 2 innings, went on to win 15-5 via the mercy rule. But it's been a different story today. Abby Kozo has pitched well, only allowed a run on 3 hits to this point, but Metuchen has had 3 players thrown out on base and have only been able to scratch across 3 runs and have stranded the bases loaded with 1 out twice. Kozo, De La Fuente, Leaf, Flaherty, heart of the order has been largely quiet. It's been the bottom of the order that's been getting things done, such as Mary McGrath and Carly Pachalski to this point. And a swing and a miss. Down goes Anna Hamas to start the 6th inning. That's strikeout number 9 here for the Metuchen Bulldogs with Abby Kozo. So 1 out. Now this will be back to the top of the order with Jessica Forte. And she'll drive 1 out to right center, and that will get down for a base hit. So Forte is on base for the 2nd time today. And once again, you think a similar strategy might be employed. Like we talked about, 26 steals a season ago, got her 11th stolen base of the season earlier in this game, got to 2nd, and then came around to score on a single from this hitter, Mackenzie Marsh. And in just a 2-run game, any scoring would be key. And again, she's in motion on the pitch. She's going to get back. De La Fuente dares her back to first base. Of course, in softball, you can't take a lead. You got to stay on the bag, but the moment the ball leaves the hand of the pitcher, you can be running, and we can expect to see that most of these at-bats here, and she's going to do it once again. Heading down to 2nd. The throw is off target. Did they get her? No. Zapp almost was able to tag Forte there. Almost a collision there as well between Zapp and Forte. Very awkward play. But nonetheless, runner in scoring position, just like when she was up last inning. Now let's see if Marsh can come through. Had some conversation here. That was Metuchen coach Hannah Thomas as well as the Middlesex 3rd base coach. A lot of confusion there at 2nd base. And this one's popped off first base side out of play. It's almost like Zapp sort of blocked the path for Forte there, trying to steal 2nd, but was kind of expecting the throw. Wasn't really focused, but doesn't really matter. Forte got in anyway. That pitch is in there. Strike 3 call. 10 strikeouts now for Abby Kozo, and that's out number 2 here in the top of the 6th. And Kaylin Nepton, who's 1 for 2 with a triple and a pop out to 2nd base, will bat here with a chance to drive in a run and cut the deficit in half. First pitch is going to miss outside for a ball, 1-0. One-0 pitch. This one popped sky high. Kozo's got a beat on it. Catches it right by home plate. Side retired. So a single from Forte. She's left at 2nd. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Metuchen hoping to get a little more breathing room for those final 3 outs for Kozo. It's 3-1 Bulldogs here on the Bulldog Report. So here we go. We'll be heading now to the bottom of the 6th inning. Metuchen will have the top of the order due up with Zapp, Leaf, and Kozo, hoping for more success than previously in this game. 0 for 1 with 2 walks for Zap to this point in the game. And this one's a sharp grounder to short. Played on a hop, throw to first, the lunge, the stretch, got her. What a play over by first base. I have been really impressed with this Middlesex defense throughout this game. Another gem right there. The shortstop comes in, and what a stretch over there at first base. I believe that's Von Winkle, the pitcher from earlier, making an excellent play over there at the bag. The hot corner, great job right there. As Bastardo's first pitch bounces to Leaf. Leaf is 0 for 2. She's got an RBI, a walk, a pop out, and a line out to this point in the game. Abby Kozo stands on deck. Pitch from Bastardo. That one nearly breaks in, but it's a little high for a ball. Leaf kind of been slumping a little bit, kind of trying to get a hit, get back into the swing of things. That one breaks in for a strike. Nice pitch from Bastardo. And this is the second straight game Bastardo has done an excellent job relieving Van Winkle. As Leaf drives one, not able to get that one. The defensive luck runs out for Middlesex, and Leaf's luck now falls back in her favor as she gets a one-out single. 5th hit of the game for Metuchen. They've all been singles. They do not have an extra base hit to this point in the game. And now Abby Kozo, who beat out an infield single last inning, is up here. Leaf at first, 1 out. Low for a ball, 2-0. Kozo 2 for 3, 2 singles, and a hard line out to second with the bases loaded in the second. That was their best chance to break this game open. And Kozo strikes one out to left center field, and it looks like that one's going to fall in potentially. Yes, it does. And Leaf is to second. Kozo has her 3rd hit of the day. And the Lady Bulldogs are in business with 2 runners on and Brianna De La Fuente up. And a 2-run lead, pretty comfortable with Kozo out there, but you know, she did lose the lead in the bottom of the 7th yesterday, and in some ways you'd want to just have a little more comfort for her. And De La Fuente strikes the first pitch, a hard bouncer, tough play, throw to first, and she's out, it looks like. It's a close play. First base coach thought she was safe, but 2 runners are on after the fielder's choice in scoring position now with 2 outs, and Flaherty coming up. Leslie Flaherty had that big home run yesterday, looking to come up clutch here again. Up and down day on the base paths. Got to home on a wild pitch, then was thrown out going to second. And this one gets past the shortstop into left field for a base hit. Run will score. And Metuchen extends the lead. A 2-run single makes it 5-1. Leslie Flaherty gets the job done. And necessary breathing room has been achieved as Metuchen has expanded the lead. And now Kylie Flaherty, who's 0 for 2 with a walk, a ground out, and the only Metuchen strikeout of this game, and she swings at that pitch that gets away from the catcher, but Leslie Flaherty not going anywhere. But great contact from Leslie Flaherty. Was going to be a tough play at short, and Middlesex's defense, which had been so solid all game, was struggling there. Now the rain is starting to come, and of course, just like last time, we have to be careful with our equipment, so we are going to have to sign off here momentarily as that one's fouled off. Just going to stretch it for a few more seconds here as the rain starting to come down a little bit, but thank you to everybody who's tuned into today's broadcast. We'll see if Metuchen can hang on in the 7th inning, but right there as Kylie Flaherty draws the walk. They'll hope to continue this inning, but unfortunately we're going to have to cut this broadcast short because there is rain in the area, and like we said, we don't want to get the camera equipment wet here. But that'll just about wrap up today's broadcast. Once again, the score at this point is 5-1, and a thank you to everybody for tuning in today. This is Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. We'll see you next time.